Superman, directed by James Gunn, is probably a masterpiece. All of the things that people are trying to place on this movie in the political space and like the moral space and the left versus right and, foreign policy and being an immigrant in America, all of these things take away from the fact that that movie is a simple story about a homegrown, down-to-earth boy who wants to help people. And it plays like a combination of Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy humor, and Americana on display, if you will. The fact that they might change Superman's tagline, or, James Gunn himself has political motivations behind the things that he puts into the film, there is still a story here that tracks with our current landscape in the world, that plays on, what we're experiencing in the US and makes a statement. And whether or not you think that statement's right or wrong is up to you, but in its core, in its simplest form, the movie is simply a hero story, and it's not trying to be more than that. James Gunn might be saying it is, but when you actually watch the film, regardless of that, they're just little allusions to our current day and age. And I think that we need a Boy Scout, and we've got another one. Captain America was our Boy Scout for 23 films, something like that. So to kind of get it back from a completely different source in DC is awesome, because that's what Superman kind of started as, right? That's where his roots are, is he's just trying to help people. And then you add the element that he's weakened by basically everything in the movie. He's getting his butt kicked throughout all of it, is kind of interesting and makes me want to watch him try to overcome those problems. And couple that with the world building that's done, which I think is absolutely great. The Green Lantern and the Hall of Justice and Justice Gang stuff, while it was kind of, slapsticky and kind of repetitive, worked for me. I was laughing at it each time it happened. And Nathan Fillion can do no wrong, so that helped too. Which, side note, the fact that Alan Tudyk was the robots also is just kind of funny to me, because I think he's getting typecast as robots now, which is kind of amazing. But overall, this movie is really freaking good. The visuals are absolutely astounding. I always wanted to see him fighting and knocking people out, but also he's trying really hard to just save people. The little score plus visual moments of him stopping a building so a girl can drive her car out, or saving the girl from all of those tubes and stuff that fly in slow motion. All of those things make Superman Superman. He becomes the hero that we've been wanting to see. And then the lightheartedness is really just so that there can be a good time in the theater, that it can be not so dark and introspective and sometimes depressing. And I think that it's funny, because while DC is kind of moving in that direction so that it's more lighthearted, more vibrant colors, more quipping and things like that, Marvel with something like Thunderbolts is moving in the other direction. They're kind of trying to go into a darker way and make things a little more gritty and more mature themes. Although they still have their quips, it's still kind of an interesting juxtaposition. But as far as this movie goes, the music absolutely blew me away. From John Murphy and David Fleming is absolutely insane. It works super well for me. The guitar focus just has that was just a good creative choice. It works really well. And I think that people are going to look back on Superman this year and see it as, what Avengers 1 was for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We just got an outpouring of information and exposition in a nuanced and interesting way. And while some of the characters in the Hall of Justice or the Justice Gang are not super fleshed out, I didn't need that in the movie. They're just part of the world, and at one point it does a throwaway line where they're from some other corporation, and I was like, yep, that makes sense. Especially since you've already gotten it outlined to you that Lex Luthor, a corporation, LexCorp, is controlling another metahuman and trying to make Superman go away. It's that makes complete sense in the world that we're being shown in this new DC universe. And then you add to that the elements with his cousin, Supergirl. I think it worked. I didn't think any of this was so woke that it takes away from what this could be in the future of storytelling for this side of comics, right? There's an element of beginning here that I was not fully expecting them to execute well, but James Gunn has done it again. And I no longer have any problem with James Gunn. Probably my top 3 Marvel movies is Guardians of the Galaxy, and Volume 3 is in the top 10. For sure. And I even like his other films, like Slither. He is pretty much a genius at this point, and I don't think that his political leanings or what he tries to, underpin in his movies has any pull away from the quality of what his output was this time. And this team that pulled this movie together knocked it out of the park, and we might look back on this and say it's a masterpiece based on what comes after it. But for now, I'm just going to put it could be a masterpiece. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm totally off base about the politics about what comes from, the death of the author, if you will? Or do you think that I'm right on and that this is the beginning of a whole new era of comic book movie and that we're going to get a new universe that's just as rewarding as the Avengers Infinity Saga was? What'd you think? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.